let's I want to dive a little deeper into that the first problem that we mentioned, right? Because there are two conflicting goals at hand, right? One is you want to bump up your approval rate as much as possible, right? But at the same time, a very high approval rate might also mean a very lot of high risk, right? And which might just show up later, right? Because it's a lagging metric, right? uh, your NPAs and all probably, I think you're probably measuring 90 days, 180 days, right? So that comes after a little longer, right? So how do you guys manage something like this? Because the short-term goal would be to get the approval rate up, right? But the real implications or the real implications of your decision or your model will show up in probably a couple of few months, right? So how did you guys handle that? Something like that.
Yeah. Very, very valid question. Because when you're building the first model from scratch, typically you don't have the dependent variable to train upon your model, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Majorly organizations chase the heuristic rules
yeah,
and have some correlation matrix in terms of trying to create a dependent variable and then
yeah,
making the model run on different cohorts, right?
yeah, yeah.
So that because you need to really identify a sweet spot of cohort where your model is really working out well. A blanket model might not even work out well, and hence you need to do a lot of A/B experimentation when you're just hitting the market with your first credit risk model,
Mm,
right?
mm, mm,
Uh, uh, the first model will not be accurate. You'll
mm,
have a lot of false positives. You'll have to
mm,
have a very high trade-off between your precision and recall.
mm,
But once you start seeing your repayment data, you
mm,
retweak the model, right?
mm,
And then you really go back to the system and try to see what are the different feature engineering that I have done.
mm,
What are different other variables or other integrations that I can partner with the relevant budget in order to get more data,
mm,
right? Uh,
mm.
Having said that, credit risk model is first element of the entire suite, but also oftentimes people also ignore are the collection strategies, right?
Okay, okay.
Uh, Collections itself is a very big pod which can really help you navigate the risk which you were projecting earlier, right?
Mm,
So
mm,
kicking the collection strategies at the right moment is really, really important in terms of
mm,
getting you back the early collection data.
mm.
And again, we can have a long discussion in terms of like what are the different strategies that needs to be rolled out
Sure,
on the collection side
sure,
of things,
sure,
because
sure.
you need to have the right agents being trained upon for you to just get hold of the lead which are not paying you back. There are intent
Mm,
issues. There
mm,
are genuine reasons where the customers are not paying you back. What needs to be done, right? Because every customer needs to be handled in a more skillful manner, right?
yeah, yeah,
So early collection strategies, laying out the right communication messaging, leveraging the right communication channel, either it's a WhatsApp or a call or a push notification, SMS, email, because you really need to manage the cost side of things as well, right?
yeah, yeah.
People can really go gaga and send an agent to the home,
Mm,
but that may not make sense from the unit economics, right? So you need to
yeah, yeah.
cohortize your base in such a manner that what is the right time to ping the customer, try to understand, try to see whether the customer is acknowledging or not acknowledging,
Mm-hmm.
and then gauge the risk accordingly. And all those learnings needs to be baked into the model for your
Yeah,
next version of model to go out.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Makes sense. So basically, in short, it's a journey which starts with a baseline model and evolves over time. And yeah, like some problems, they need their time. Like there's no other way than going through the entire process. Yeah, yeah, makes sense.
Absolutely. Yeah.